top 5 tips for improving digestive health, and this is pretty much across the board. It's helped me in so many ways, it's helped so many of my clients. There are many more than 5 tips, of course, but today we're just going to focus on the top 5. So my top one, and probably one of the easiest to do these days, is to cut out gluten and soya completely. Now, both of these food types, I want to do brackets there, are highly aggravating for our system, highly inflaming, and they're not treated like food in the body. They're treated like a toxin, which is why we want to give them up. If you wonder what that is, that's the cat, this weird little tail appearing. So yeah, these make their way, you eat them, they make their way down through your digestive system, and if you have leaky gut or something similar, which is a huge majority of the general public, they make their way through the lining of the digestive system and into the body. So not only are they upsetting the digestive system as they come down, but they are also making their way into the body and potentially causing autoimmune type issues within the body, which obviously then leads to a whole host of other health ailments on top of your digestive issues. So I really recommend that these are avoided at all costs. So that means, breads and some grains and a lot of pastries and crackers and biscuits and all those standard things that we eat quite a lot of every day. And also with the soya, that's soya, not just soya beans, but that's soy sauce, that's tofu, that's tempeh, that's soya is in so many processed foods, that's a good thing to consider giving up to. Dairy-free alternatives like margarines and stuff are pretty much pure soya. Anything that says it's vegetable oil is likely to have quite a lot of soya oil in it these days, because they don't have to stipulate where it's coming from. My top tip, even if you don't notice bloating when you eat it, even if you don't notice that it's upsetting you at that time, it is not doing us good. It is creating long-term damage, and it takes a long time to get rid of these things out of our system. So that's what I would recommend firstly, to start with, helping that digestive system. Now, the second tip is really listening to your own body. And I know that can be difficult when you're in a place of chronic illness, but really listening to what is making me feel bloated, or what do I feel like I have a headache after, or I'm running off to the toilet, or I can't go to the toilet, or, there's a lot of churning or gurgling or something going on, so listening to that. And a good majority of the time that is gluten and also wheat in general. But for a lot of people, at least for a temporary time, that would probably be things like dairy, certain obviously processed foods. It can be things that like seeds and nuts and legumes and all these things. We're not meant to be eating them in large quantities, if at all, for a lot of them. And they are very irritating for the digestive system, even if soaked and prepared properly and things like that. They really are things that should be, the occasional side or the occasional treat or snack or something, but not the majority of our meals, the majority of our days. So that kind of leads me on to the next thing, and I think there's not enough emphasis put on this, and this is it's about eating seasonally and locally. Now, this was a huge shift for me, and I see this with clients too. We think we're eating all the healthy things, but the problem is we're eating them every day. They're often shipped in from other parts of the world, and we just don't have the microbiome to deal with these plants, seeds, nuts, whatever they are, from other parts of the world, and every day of every year, or at least every week of every year, through the seasons. So, just thinking about, okay, what is available to me in this season, where I am, You know, in the winter here, where I am in Portugal, that's a lot of cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, some root vegetables, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, that would be the things I'd be looking at. You know, maybe you can't afford to buy them from, you know, your local organic farm or something, but you can see in the supermarket what is coming from your country at this time of the year, and try and pick those, or at least as close to possible to where you live. You know, so I don't know, maybe you're in the UK and you find lots of things in your local supermarket that are not from the UK but that are from France, but there are also equally just as many things from Argentina. So you pick the things from France. You know, they're the closest you can get at this time to, you know, where you are. And that's the case with anything to do with our health. We do our best with what we've got in this moment where we are, and we try and let go of the rest, because it doesn't help us to get stressed about, I can't do this, I can do that, you know, this, I can't change that, you know, those sorts of things. That really doesn't help our health, you know, not just our digestive health, but our nervous system as well. So really considering, you know, what is available to me in this time, at this part of the year, because then we get the nutrients we require in the seasons we require them, and we give our digestive system time to rest. Time to rest from the sweet potato or the flaxseed or whatever it is, you know. And we're also then consuming foods from our area, because foods from other ow, the cat just stuck its nail into me. Foods from other areas of the world, as I said, are not, our microbiome is not set up for those. And the geese are trying to get my attention. You can probably hear them. And because of that, it's much harder for us to digest these things. You know, so something that is an anti-inflammatory or an anti-anxiety from I don't know, Guatemala or somewhere, it probably is very helpful for those people in that region at that time of the year. But then you ship it halfway across the world to a nation that is nowhere near that, and at a different time of the year as well. And our microbiome really struggles. It doesn't know what to do with it, how to process it. You know, it's not getting a rest from foods. So it really is a big part of not only helping our digestive system, but helping overall health, because we get what we need when we need it, and we make the most of the things that are around us. And there is a local alternative to everything that you can buy abroad. You can find something local that is very similar to it, which your microbiome will be much, much happier about. And then, you know, the next thing I would say is really to consider oh, my mind has gone completely blank. The next thing is to consider probiotics. Now, standard probiotics are a waste of money, mainly. You know, there's the odd one that might be good, but most of it is a waste of money. Most of it is either not viable anymore and not alive anymore, or just isn't really giving us what we need, or what you personally need, not just as a nation needs. And they just don't actually have that very many probiotics actually in them when you compare it to fermented food or fermented drinks, those sorts of things. So, you know, save your money, because a lot of these probiotics are extremely expensive, and get some fermented food instead if you can tolerate it. Now, not everybody can tolerate it right away because of histamine issues and things like that. So if in that case, I would always be saying you need to clear the histamine issues up first. And you can. People will tell you can't, you're stuck with them. That's not true. I've healed them. I've helped loads of other people heal them. If you want to heal them too in a very natural, easy way, then do check out, cut that bit, because I said heal a lot as well. Right, so most of you, so you might have been told that you can't heal histamine issues. Well, you can, and it's not as complicated as you might think. I've got over them. I've helped many clients get over it too. And if you would like some additional help or you suspect you have histamine issues, then do reach out. You know, the link below is to my coaching page, and you can book in a 15-minute free consultation, 15-minute free discovery call. So yeah. Anyway, on to the fermented foods. So like probiotic tablets, they might have a few million, probiotics in them if they're still viable by the time you consume them, which is a big if. These nasty little yogurt drinks you get in the supermarkets and things have very little also, and then usually added sugars, preservatives, additives, those sorts of things. Most fermented foods in supermarkets are, although they were fermented, have been cooked afterwards, so they've been pasteurized. So they may say fermented on them, but unless they say raw or unpasteurized, then they have been cooked, and usually added sugar at the end as well, so they're no good. So you want to really go for somebody that's making it locally. If you can't make your own, then going to a health food shop or something like that. Every single health food shop has them in now, and they will have billions and billions of probiotics in them for your digestive system. Now, if you have had antibiotics, steroids, digestive problems for a long time, oral contraceptives, that kind of thing, then you might find you have to start slowly and build up. Because a lot of people think they've got intolerance to these foods and drinks, but actually one of the things they are really good at doing is detoxing us. So you might run off to the toilet and when you start consuming them, but actually that's a good thing. I know it doesn't feel like it at the time, but it means that your body is being supported to remove the toxins at this time. So then I would suggest just having a little bit less and very slowly building up. Now, the big thing, the last thing, which I have come to realise through my own recovery and that of many clients, is we can really speed this up. This aiding us or helping us to have a healthy digestive system, and we can really speed this up in a way that is very natural, traditional, ancestral for us, and that is by going into ketosis. When we are in ketosis, the body heals from a cellular level. Now, I know that this is not for everyone, and it is a bit intense to even think about going down that road, but I see it every single week. The speed of people's recovery from many chronic illnesses is so quick in comparison to when doing more of a plant-based kind of thing. So this would mean cutting out carbohydrates and sugars and including plenty of proteins and fats. It might not be something that you want to do forever or even that long, but definitely looking at doing it for like 6 to 8 weeks to really reset your system, to really allow your body to heal the lining of the stomach and heal all the other things that are going on because of this putting unusual, strange things into our system for so many years. It's taken its toll on us, and this really gives you an amazing reset. Now, if you want to know more about that and get some more specialized help with it, then again, you can book in for a 15-minute discovery call with me below. And maybe have some coaching, maybe not. The discovery call doesn't, you're not fixed to doing anything after a discovery call, but I just wanted to share that that is a big part of rebooting every system of the body, basically, not just the digestive system. And I'm just going to give you one more bonus thing that I think we all know really helps with our digestive health, and that is our nervous system health. When our nervous system is in a good place, or at least in a more regulated place, and then we're going to build on that into resilience. I have loads of videos about this and some courses on my website if you're interested. Again, the link is below. When our nervous system is in a happy and healthy place, at least some of the time, you know, it's never going to be there all the time. That helps our digestive system and vice versa. So if you're having problems with anxiety, overthinking, overwhelm, your digestive system is all over the place, then if you help your digestive system, it will help what's up here and in here. But also if you help what's in here and in here, it helps the digestive system. And one just very quick last thing I just wanted to share with you. Circadian health also helps the nervous system, and the digestive system and the hormones and more. And I will probably be sharing with you a little bit more about circadian health in another video sometime soon. But for now, as I said, if you want any specialized help with any of these things, the digestive stuff, the nervous system stuff, long-term chronic illness in any way, then do feel free to book in a free 15-minute, no obligation discovery call using the link below, and we can see it, where to go from where you are. I could give you a little bit of guidance, point you maybe in the right direction, and yeah, we can have a chat. So if you're looking to do that, check out the links below. As I said, there are links to courses and ebooks and various other things that you might find helpful too below, and I will speak to you all very soon.